Hey folks, welcome to the channel. I'm Don. This is Rockin' the Country. I'm smiling because it's a Dick Feller song, and I've done, like, you see the titles of Dick Feller songs and you think, oh, they're going to be uber funny. And like, what did I do the one? It was like Biff the Purple Bear or something like that. The shiny purple whatever, but it was way more poignant than I thought it was going to be. Like, people were like, my gosh, that had me crying in the end. And I'm like, I feel you on that one. But Jason Halverson made a gift to the channel for me to do this. So Jason, thank you for this gift, my friend. Let's see what Dick Feller's got with the credit card song. It sounds like it's going to be funny, but a good songwriter can take those lyrics and just twist you all up and like go against your expectations.
Well, I guess this story must begin that fateful day way back when I decided I should have a credit card. So I filled out this application, listed all my recommendations, sent it off in the mail, and in a month or so the mailman brought me my brand new charge-all card. Better than checks, safer than money, and not near as dirty. Well, it laid around for a couple of days, and finally I thought, well, what the hey, why not see if this thing will really work?
Yeah.
So I went down to my favorite store, picked out 3 or 4 shirts or more, a pair of pants and a striped tie, and the man came by and said, yes, sir, cash or charge? I said, just put it on my credit card. Write that dude up. Oh, convenient. Well, I put that card away in a drawer, and I never charged $1 more, and one day in the mail, I got this bill. Typed on a card all full of holes, it said, do not staple, bend or fold, was the astronomical figure of $3,200.42. When? There's been a mistake. So I got on the phone. Hello, hello? I got Mr. Black and Mr. Brown, and then I got the runaround, till finally Mr. Green came on the line. I said, sir, this may be hard to take, but your computer has made a mistake. It says I owe more money than I've ever seen. And he said, people like you make mistakes. Computers do not lie. Send us the bread. PDQ.
Pretty damn quick.
Well, now this just about done me in, so I grabbed that computer card again, the one with all those holes punched out so nice. And I threw it on the floor and I stomped it twice. Then I whipped out my pocket knife and punched out a few new holes where there hadn't been no holes before. Then I bent it double, stapled it across the end, drove my car over it. Stick that up your computer. I sent it back in and never heard no more till one day the mailman came to the door with a special delivery from the charge-all place.
Uh-oh.
Inside was a note from Mr. Green, said we ran your card through our machine and it tells us you've overpaid your bill. Enclosed is a check payable to you.
How much?
For $9,000.
Oh boy.
Appreciate your business. Well, I got back on the phone again, called Mr. Green, and he was in, and I said, I think there's something you should know. Then I told him what the computer had done, and I said, just remember, you're the one that told me computers do not lie. Thank you.
Oh, it's over? Oh no. The instrumentation on this just said this was going to be one of those happy kinds of songs. But the way he was singing it in the beginning was the same way. You're like, oh, this is going to be fun. You could tell. But if you're younger, you wouldn't necessarily get the references to the punch cards because the way the computers used to work. You filled out an application, you mailed it in, and then if you're approved, they'd mail you it back. It would take time, obviously, for the whole process to happen. But this is really, in a sense, like an indictment of the age of computers and just humans relying on computers. And it was pretty funny the way he handled the punch card. You never got the punch card back in the day. You just got a receipt. And I don't know if you guys remember this. Some of you will. Now they don't do this, but back in the day when you ran your credit card, they print your credit card number right out on the receipt. And so if you lost your receipt, your credit card number is right there. And there weren't security codes back in the day, as I recall. It was just the credit card number. And it was right there on the bottom of your receipt, whether it was an American Express, MasterCard, Visa. That's the way it was done. Then after a while, fraud was happening too often. So they decided we don't need to put this on the bottom of it. But you never got the punch card from the computer. But the dude owed $3,200. But it was funny because he said I don't know if you picked up on it early in the song when he said, I went down to decide to try out my credit card, and I bought 3 or 4 shirts or more, and a suit and tie or something. But I don't know if you picked up on it where he said or more. He might have actually spent the $3,200. I thought they were going to go back and say, well, you bought this really fancy schmancy suit, and come up with some Italian name or Brooks Brothers. Everybody knows that name. But he didn't. And he decided to handle it by putting punches all of his own in it. And they owed him $9,000. And computers don't lie. Well, I've spoken with my branch manager on occasion at my bank in the past. And she's like, oh, my gosh, we make mistakes all the time. And I'm like, well, that's not very reassuring. But at least they know it. And that's why they'll talk with you if there's some kind of, but they don't make mistakes that often, but they make them. And if you think there's a mistake, you got to call them or go down there, wherever. So, all right, Jason, that was a fun song. It brings me back. And it was also just sort of like a way he gamed the system to get back at the guy who was obnoxious, who was like, no, computers don't lie. It's like, all right, let's find out. And evidently, they owed him $9,000, and he was sticking to it. So the instrumentation was just fun. It was just happy. It's like it kept going right along. You wanted to hear the rest of the story. All right, the number that popped into my head on this was an 8.6. It was just a fun song. And that's what songs can be sometimes. We need that in life, not all the heavy stuff. So Jason, y'all can thank Jason Halverson for this one. That was a good choice. All right, guys, have a great day. I'll see you on another video. Keep rocking the country and be careful what you spend.